All right. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. We are happy today to see Dr. Jeff Donohue on with us today. So as you know, we kind of try to bring doctors in to help introduce either some of the conditions he's seeing in his practice and or just answer some of your questions. So we're going live today. Jeff wants to bring some really great value today. So we're kind of doing like an interview process here and also just bring your questions. So if you're watching this on the Facebook group and you have a question, just message us in the comment section and then we'll go ahead and get your questions answered. So I'll be monitoring that on the side as well. And then, so hold on one second. Let me spotlight Jeff for everyone. All right. They don't want to see my ugly mug. They want to
Right.
see
Yeah.
you, Jeff.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff. So, how is it going today anyway, by the way?
Doing well. Seeing patients, but going well.
You know
No
what I love
major
about our
issues.
doctors, Jeff, is every one of our doctors are actively practicing.
That's true.
Doesn't that mean a lot? Because you're seeing the human condition day in and day out. So tell me what you're seeing currently with the condition. Is there something that you're seeing common that maybe we can
Yeah.
address and maybe prevent?
Yeah. A lot of time this time of year, at least in Georgia where I am, it's allergy haven. So probably in Florida as well. So lots of allergies and so watery eyes and itchy nose and coughing, congesting, all those type things, which then in turn affects sleep, and then which in turn affects stress, management and anxiety. So lots of that today. Lots of generalized stress. I mean, people are worried about the economy and the finances and coming out of COVID and the housing market. You pick a topic, government and election and all that stuff. So a lot of stress reaction, a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, a lot of inflammation, allergies, and such. So that's probably the two. I mean, the diabetes and high blood pressure is pretty regular, but that's probably what's coming into the office more as of late, for sure.
Well, I
And
wanted
so
to,
obviously, go ahead.
yeah. Well, I want to first thank you for taking a time out because I know you're currently actually at your office. You're currently seeing patients and you block a little time out for us to have a moment inside a holistic health haven. So I appreciate that. I know it's a
Sure,
sacrifice.
sure, sure.
So when you have patients coming in with some of these conditions that are escalating to a level where they
Mhm.
feel like they have to see a doctor, tell me how you approach that. Because let's say someone's on here and says, I'm suffering silently. What do I do next? Let's help them.
Yeah, for sure. So I think, I'm not probably traditional, even though I'm traditionally trained in the sense that I'm going to reach for a medication. I typically go with lifestyle changes. So we talk a lot about exercise and we talk a lot about sleep and what food, what diet plan you should be on, what supplements you should take. I'll give you a 2 minute. I went to an anti-aging conference in the end of last year. It's titled Longevity. For those in the States, everybody knows who Dr. Oz is. And he was there. He was our keynote speaker. And there was Tony Robbins' doctor who wrote this book called Life Force was there. There's a Netflix series, you guys have Netflix, called The Blue Zone by Bittner, the guy who wrote it, who organized it, and they turned it into a Netflix series. Anyway, the common denominator in all of this was movement. Nothing showed longevity over moving. And it wasn't CrossFit and Orange Theory and climbing a mountain. It was just 30 minutes of movement. So the first thing I talk to my patients about is, look, if we're going to add proper years to your life, you got to move. You got to go dig a hole, plant a tree, climb up, go walk up the street, do something, lift weights, whatever you enjoy. Make that part of your life. It helps your stress. It helps you sleep. It's going to lower your blood pressure, lower your cholesterol. All the things we want. It's just make yourself active. I use this analogy. There's really no 90-year-old bodybuilders. There's no 90-year-old sumo wrestlers. They don't make it. Staying lean and thin and active and engaged in society, those are real keys. And so all my patients that come in with blood pressure and diabetes and anxiety and stress, the first thing I talk to them about is, you got to get moving, and we need to pick a proper diet plan. We need to get off the sugars and the carbs and all those things. So that's kind of for everybody, no matter what you're coming in for me to see me for. That's where we're going to start. And then I love supplements, and you guys know me, and Kim and Tibor and Sarah and all. We all kind of formed this CBD company together. But I think there's a place for it in everybody's life. You're going to see your stress will be better, your inflammation is going to be better, you're going to sleep better. And one of the things I tell my patients that you can sabotage me. This won't work if we don't sleep. So if we don't manage our sleep, we don't manage our stress, we're just going to spin our wheels. We can do all the exercise that we want in nutrition, but if you sleep 2 hours a night, it's not going to work. The beauty of CBD is it kind of hits this whole front. You're going to get sleep, you're going to get inflammation, you're going to get anxiety. There's all kinds of data on blood pressure control and blood sugar control and cancer modulation. So for me, it's kind of an overarching supplement because it covers pretty much a lot of what I'm seeing on a regular basis. So all that nutshell to say, we have some really interesting stuff at our disposal that is not a prescriptive medication.
And it gets results, right? I mean, that's
Absolutely.
right.
Absolutely. I mean, first dose effect, you don't have to necessarily, wait for months for a blood pressure pill to kick in or a anti-anxiety pill to kick in. You do CBD at the proper dosing, which we didn't used to do. We used to do 20, 30 milligrams. Now we know you got to get in the 80 to 200 milligram to really show effect. I think that if we do that, we're causing effect, I mean, within the first day or two, significantly.
So let's say you have a patient that comes in, Jeff, and their level of stress because of everything that's going on. There is a lot of human suffering right now. A lot of things
Yes.
that are happening that are seemingly out of our control. I wouldn't say they are out of our control, but it
Mhm.
feels like that in some situations, especially with
Right.
government stuff. So let's just talk about, let's say that patient comes in, or you're helping someone. What would be your first step to help like alleviate? I mean, I know you're such a believer in cannabinoids and balancing the ECS because that really is a valuable resource for the human condition if it is the largest regulatory system in the body. Would that be your first step nutritionally? Tell me
If
what.
I'm going to reach for a supplement, yes. I mean, I still think that there's so much to be said for moving. As I mentioned if you can get 70% reduction in all causes of mortality, meaning any cause of death before age 70 can be changed by you moving, you have to do that. You have to move. With that, in that same vein, you can't move and then eat cake all day, right? So proper nutrition, anti-inflammatory, low sugar, low carb. We talk a lot in our practice about keeping the gluten down, the dairy down. So if you can do lifestyle changes, no matter what you're seeing before, anxiety, stress, your diabetes out of control, your blood pressure out of control, and you can do that, and then I could add in a supplement, much more than that, that's going to have effect on every cell of your body. And we know the endocannabinoid system is every cell of your body has a receptor. Why would we not start there? If I can manipulate that in such a way I can bring you back in balance and you're going to sleep and your cortisol is going to improve, which is your stress hormone, which everybody's is out of control right now. Why would we not start with something like that? Yes, I'm going to add fish oil and I'm going to talk definitely about vitamin D and I'm going to talk about B vitamins and such. But I mean, if we can have one that affects every organ system and every system in the body, why would we not start with that one? So for me, that's they don't really leave the office without those kind of a discussions, no matter what they came to me for.
Well, and then let's say someone stakes. So you're saying the first step is like just try to get active.
Try to get active and
Okay.
make sure your diet is, you got to cut the sugars down. The American diet, when we have 50%, near 50% obesity, and every other person meets the criteria of overweight. And I could just say, make you move and cut the sugars in your diet. You've made a huge leap towards health and wellness. And then if I can, fine tune, I'm a hormone doctor, so I do a lot with hormones and testosterone in men and hormones in women and all that such. But and I think that they all have their place, but you can't do it without sleep. You can't do it without exercise. You really can't do it without, proper nutrition. So all those things have to be in addition to whatever else we talk about. But I always start with, I call it the big four. They get a vitamin D, they get a fish oil, they get a multivitamin, they get CBD. Everybody kind of gets those from me to start with because they have clinical trials done on each one of those to show full body effect.
So you're saying like basically give your body a head start on this journey and say, okay, try to get the cannabinoids into the ECS system first.
Correct.
That'll the balance, the stress receptors. That'll help the sleep, being able to sleep indicator, right? Is that something that,
Absolutely, and inflammation. You know, which one of us doesn't have inflammation? So we check markers called CRP and SED rate and all these other things we can do in your blood work, but we live a very inflammatory lifestyle. Or the foods we take in, the daily stress that we struggle with, from raising kids to having three jobs to, you know, mom's not doing well. You know, all those are stress modulators, and if I can get something that will modulate that or balance that, like CBD does, and at the same time I'm going to make you sleep better and your anxiety is going to improve. Um, Stress is the center of all of this. So we can get that under better control, and we're going to give you a plant that's been around for thousands of years. It's so much, for me, more rewarding to do that than here's your Xanax and your Prozac and your, you know, your Ambien for sleep, and I can do all those with one supplement. Why again? Why not there?
you know,
And the
Dr.
side effect profile is so low, right? You know,
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think like Dr. Phillips always says, it's not side effects, it's a direct effect from some of these
correct.
pharmaceuticals. And I know he
That's
also
correct.
says we're not afforded stress, meaning the body it's so toxic for the body to be in the condition of stress.
Hmm.
But I do feel like some people feel helpless. And would you agree that balancing and the endocannabinoid system being balanced empowers people?
Absolutely. If you don't have that internal angst, that agitation, that irritability, that just don't feel, if something feels off internally, why would I go exercise? I don't really care about eating right. Why do I care about making that first step if I don't feel internally in control? So if we can balance that system through endocannabinoid, you know, manipulation, homeostasis through CBD, you know, of course you're going to feel not regulated. So if that can encompass all of that, again, we talk a lot in our world, in the kokuavida world, about taking some at night and the day, you know, AM PM effect. So PM, you could use it for sleep, and obviously during the day for just general stress management. It's not going to happen with 5 or 10 milligrams. You need to get 80 to 200 milligrams to show that effect. And I like to divide the dose up so I get better 24-hour coverage. So again, it's an easy step for all of us to take in addition to those other things that I mentioned. But now we have a cost effective, organic, you know, you and I, and we've all seen the certificate of analysis, we call it COI, on this product. It's unbelievable, all the different cannabinoids that are available to us.
Yeah, yeah, that's really important because
It is.
quality does matter. I've always heard that 70% of I would, let's say specifically CBD. We don't have just CBD in our blends. We have multiple different cannabinoids because the body does different things on different cannabinoids.
That's
And so
right.
we've seen some, very toxic ingredients out there. We've actually say 70% is toxic or mislabeled. I do think that's going to change. However, because I think a lot of the recklessness in the industry is falling away because maybe they think that, their their aggression for just getting money, they don't have a purpose
Hmm.
for humanity. And we are purpose
Exactly.
profit. So we built this company with that in mind, and with our doctors vetting our products. And obviously you're a big part of that as one of the co-owners. And so moving forward, Jeff, as a is a human condition, let's say we want to get active. So I think
Mm.
recommending everybody watch the Blue Zone. Get
Absolutely.
active. So let's say someone is completely sedentary.
Right.
Where do you take them from zero to hero?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with doing yoga in your chair. Sit in your chair, grab 2 pound weights and just do biceps, just do over your shoulder, just do, you know, anything to get your heart rate pumping. You can literally do that. I have lots of 80-year-old patients that have both knees replaced and hips replaced. They just can't go out and walk and ride the bike like I want them to. So great, put in a chair yoga tape, put it on your computer, watch it on your phone, do some stretching exercises. You can do that from your chair in the comfort of your home. Then when you feel comfortable and you got your balance right, walk inside your home. Just go, okay, I'm gonna count for 5 minutes. I'm just gonna walk around the interior of my home for 5 minutes. Anything is good. All we're looking for, it's not hours, 30 minutes, 5 days a week of something. So you can get on the ground and you can do stretching and you can kick your legs in the air and throw your arms in there. Great. None of it, it all makes a difference. The studies were not done. If you guys watch the Blue Zone, you'll see these 90-year-old people in Japan squatting all the way to the ground, digging plants out of the ground, because that's how they live. They're farmers and settlers and gardeners and shepherds, and they're just working outside, but it all mattered. So anything you can do matters. It like I said, it could be in the chair, go to the YMCA if you don't like doing it, get in the swimming pool and go walk in the swimming pool. Just start moving, because nothing showed reduction in disease more than movement. So, and when you watch these series I talked about, it's trying to stay engaged in society, trying to find purpose in life, but if we can also calm you internally, and also if you look at all the data about blood sugar control and blood pressure control, and it can all be done, a lot of it manipulated through CBD product and endocannabinoids, I think it's just a great addition to whatever you're doing.
I
Do
know.
no harm. That's the motto, and do no harm. If I can do no harm and out at the secondary, I get benefit. Why? Again, I think it's worth a try.
Yeah, you're an amazing physician, Dr. Donohue. So, so let's say, so I know one of the things in the Blue Zone, they talked about community, and I know you're Gen
Yeah.
X, I'm Gen X. Um,
Hmm.
we lived most of our, well, more than half of our life without social media.
Right.
I seen a degradation of society where it's like connecting everybody, but at the same time, they disconnected everybody, the
Right.
social media. And I know we're doing a live here because there's such a reliance on social media. We want as a company to help bring humanity back to nature. And I know in the Blue Zone they talked about really getting together with people, right? And the
Right.
value of
Right. Right.
what do you
At
feel?
church, at the, go volunteer at the hospital, go find something that has a common, you can literally nowadays with social media, you can Google, I'm interested in, art, I'm interested in dogs. I mean, whatever you can find something that you engages you mentally and then physically, find a sense of well-being, sense of purpose. It is also leads towards longevity. You can't just, the studies would show just being a hermit the rest of your life doesn't necessarily lead to longevity. Not that people don't. There's exceptions to every rule, but having a purpose in your brain, um, religious or spiritual, I think is also a fantastic way to approach that subject. So, but there's so many people in need of you to go to the Shepherd Center or the nursing home, or go to the school and volunteer. Just try to make yourself move forward. The people that retire at 65 and decide they're going to sit on their couch and gain weight and not exercise, they don't make it. It's the people that actively stay involved in society, keep moving, keep their weight and nutrition under control, all those things we talked about. So you'll find it. You just got to go. Sometimes you got to go look. But one of the things about social media is it will allow you these groups that you can get involved in. And I worry a little bit about all the virtual reality 3D glasses that are coming out, where people are going to go escape and to another reality that's not real, when we have our own to deal with right now in front of us. There's plenty of things to do in this reality without escaping to another.
Yeah, and I think I don't want to say it's nefarious force, but there is some, I think, a dark force that doesn't want humanity to connect. And I know that just because the food has moved over into
Oh, no doubt.
bioengineered. I mean,
Yeah.
everything I pick up now is bioengineered on the back somewhere, some ingredients, which we
Yeah.
know is toxic, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Europe's much ahead of us as far as their food industry than we are in the States. You look at the GMO status on all of our foods and the bioengineering. It's crazy to find something that's not. I mean, you have to actually go search the other way. It used to be, few and far between. Now every product has got some kind of bioengineering or GMO on it. So you got to go find your little section in the grocery store that's about this big, that has those good products, when the whole rest of the store is covered with non-organic, processed foods. It's more difficult. Europe's the other way around. There's some of our foods we eat over here. They ban it over there because of it's so much toxicity.
I know. I saw an article from no, it was General Mills. It said we're
Yeah,
going to reduce the amount of plastics in the cereals. And I'm like,
goodness
wait,
gracious.
what?
I know, right? You have to
But
be told to do that.
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
And what
yeah.
is crazy to me, Jeff, is that we sometimes didn't even know. And then when you know, you can't unknow it.
You can't unsee it, right?
You
Yeah,
can't unsee it. You can't,
yeah,
you want to do something, you want to take action, which is a good thing if it's triggering humanity to to step up, because
right.
we need a lot of people to step up and say enough. we're not going to support this anymore. We're going
Hmm.
back to nature. We're going to find a local farmer. If that is what it requires, then you need to do it, right? Support the
Absolutely.
local farming.
Absolutely. But when you can supersize everything in the States and it doesn't cost you any more money, why not do it? Got everybody addicted to, McDonald's French fries and Diet Coke. So, and if you look at those ingredients in those, and I'm sure you've seen all the behind the scenes studies on those when they pump them all with sugar, it's pretty shocking what we're willing to put into our bodies. But yet we'll complain about the fact that, that organic version costs 20 cents more. I don't, we got to get our priorities a little bit straighter.
Yeah.
Health is
Well,
number one.
yeah, and this is kind of what we're doing today, everybody, is we're actually helping that, because knowledge is power. And I hope that what you do from what you take for this, the sacrifice that Dr. Donohue makes of his time to show up today for you, for us, it's to help us bring humanity back to nature. So we practice what we preach. We buy our produce and our dairy from a local farmer. I can no
Yeah,
longer go to Publix and get what I want. Publix whole bakery is now bioengineered. Almost everything is now bioengineered in Publix, and I don't trust the fruit and vegetables actually now.
right. And with the beauty of the product that we're offering, on our kokuavida side is organic as well. So none of us would support anything other than that. So I think we can, start with ourselves and educate other folks about what's really going on. I know the other doctors on this panel are definitely in agreement of all this. We've all spoken independently and together as a groups, and if we can help lead the path and show you guys another way other than fast food store, this is just part of spreading the word.
Yeah, really, I think as we close out, I really want to encourage everybody to just say, stop. I'm stopping. I'm stopping this convenience lifestyle, and I'm
Right.
gonna make these small steps. It's a small step for us to go down to the farm to get our produce and our dairy.
Absolutely.
No different than going down the street from Publix. We're just making
Right.
a conscious decision to stop. And if we keep supporting these companies that are giving us these toxic foods, then we are part of the problem, right, Jeff?
I agree. 100%. There's too many
26.
other avenues. You just got to go find it, but it's there. You just go look a little bit. There's every farmer's market at there are organic sections and all these. Whole Foods has a section, Fresh Market, all these stores, they all have it. You just got to go. It's okay to put yourself first when it comes to nutrition. It's okay to spend a few extra dollars on that and forget going through the fast food line. That's that. If you literally looked at I saw the ingredients in I don't want to use it, a very popular chicken sandwich facility that's in Georgia. 400 ingredients. How can you have 400 ingredients in a chicken sandwich? That's crazy. So, you just want the chicken and that's it, not all the other stuff pumped into it.
And I was seeing even McDonald's, like if anybody took
Oh
the
my goodness.
ingredient from their French fries, and
Oh
I,
my
I
goodness.
know people that's what their children grew up on was
Oh
McDonald's
yeah.
through, and then they want
Right.
to know why their children have all these massive digestive issues.
Yeah, and immune dysfunction. Your immune system's all out of balance. That's a whole nother topic we could get on that, right?
Well, I know we're closing out, Jeff. It's always a pleasure to have you on.
Yeah, thanks.
Good on
Thank you.
questions right now, but if we get any, we got a lot of comments. I know she's so sweet. She is tagging all her friends. She really has a passion for hemp and hemp for humanity. And so we know we're doing the right thing. Is it an easy journey? No, but we got to get there. We have to get
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Mhm.
agree.
I
Yeah,
think.
thanks for letting me come on today. And there's some other speakers coming this month that are as passionate as I am about this, and we all have our own take. But I think generally aligned is we all got to be responsible for ourselves and spread the word. And there is another way to do this other than pharmaceutical, prescriptive. Going through the fast food line, and it's not always easy, but it's there, and the path's been laid out. So yeah, choose
Right.
yourself. It's okay to do that.
I love it. Thank you, Jeff. You're
All
always a
right.
blessing to have
See you
on.
guys later. Yeah, thank
All
y'all so
right.
much. All right.
Thank
See you.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.